Today we will be comparing the story of He-Man to ancient mythology. There is a moment, repeated endlessly across history, where a man becomes something more. He lifts a weapon, he speaks a sacred phrase, and power floods into him, transforming flesh into legend. In the modern world we call him He-Man, but thousands of years before cartoons, toys, or television screens, this story already existed, carved into stone, whispered in temples and feared by kings, because the truth behind He-Man is not bright or heroic. It is ancient, it is violent, and it carries a warning. This is the true mythology closest to He-Man and the masters of the universe, and why ancient cultures believe power was never meant to be wielded by mortals. At the heart of He-Man's story is a ritual older than civilization itself, a chosen man, a sacred weapon, a transformation into divine strength. This idea appears again and again in ancient mythology. In Mesopotamia, heroes did not train into power. They were activated by divine artifacts. The hero Gilgamesh, the oldest known mythological figure in history, was described as two-thirds divine, one-third human, possessing strength no man should have. His power did not come from effort alone. It came from birthright and divine favor, just like Prince Adam. But Gilgamesh's story was not heroic in the modern sense. His strength made him cruel, arrogant, dangerous. The gods created a monster, and then had to deal with the consequences. The idea of a seemingly weak or unassuming prince who hides a terrifying inner power is ancient. In Egyptian mythology, the god Horus was often portrayed as vulnerable, youthful, even helpless, until the moment he claimed his father's throne and became unstoppable. In Canaanite myth, the god Baal was mocked and diminished until he wielded divine weapons and crushed death itself. But the closest parallel lies in Indo-European warrior myths, where kings were believed to hold latent divine fury, a force called furor. Once unleashed, it could not be easily controlled. Ancient texts describe kings entering battle trances, their bodies swelling, their voices changing, their strength exceeding human limits. To ancient people, this wasn't metaphor. It was possession. He-Man's sword is not just a tool of war, it is a key. In ancient mythology, sacred weapons were never simply weapons. They were gateways. Excalibur did not make Arthur king, it revealed him. Marduk's weapons allowed him to reshape reality itself. Indra's Vajra was a lightning instrument capable of destroying worlds. In Norse myth, Tyr lost his hand binding a power too dangerous to roam free. The weapon unlocks power, but it always demands a price. In He-Man, the price is rarely acknowledged. In ancient myth, it is unavoidable. Castle Grayskull is not a castle. It is a skull shrine. Ancient cultures associated skull imagery not with death alone, but with containment. In Celtic traditions, skulls were believed to house souls. In Mesoamerican temples, skull racks were gateways between worlds. In Hindu mythology, skull imagery signified cosmic dissolution. Places of power were built on burial grounds, sites of massacre, ancient ruins. The gods did not build on clean land. They built on memories soaked in blood. Grayskull is closer to a sealed tomb than a fortress. Something is locked inside, and the sword is the only thing keeping it contained. Skeletor is often misunderstood as a cartoon villain. In mythological terms, he is far more terrifying. He represents the undead god, the being who has crossed death but failed to achieve rebirth. In Egyptian myth, this role belonged to Set. In Mesopotamia, it was Ereshkigal's servants. In later Gnostic traditions, it became the Archons, rulers trapped between matter and spirit. Skeletor is obsessed with Grayskull because it represents what he lost: legitimate power, cosmic authority, flesh and form. In ancient belief, to lose one's body but retain consciousness was a curse. It meant eternal hunger, eternal rage, eternal awareness of what you can never reclaim. Eternia is not fantasy. It mirrors ancient ideas of worlds layered on top of each other. The Sumerians believed Earth sat between, the heavens above, the underworld below. This made humanity vulnerable. Gods could intervene. Monsters could cross over. Reality could fracture. In Indo-Iranian myth, such worlds were battlegrounds between order and entropy. Heroes were not protectors. They were buffers. Sacrifice is meant to absorb cosmic violence. He-Man is not saving Eternia, he is holding it together. Ancient mythology never celebrated strength for its own sake. Strength was feared. The stronger the hero, the shorter their life. Hercules went mad and killed his family. Samson was blinded and enslaved. Siu Cholain died bound upright to a stone. The warrior who channels divine power becomes unstable. Their humanity erodes. In this light, Prince Adam's transformation is not heroic. It is ritualized possession. He does not gain power. Power passes through him, and when it leaves scars. Sorceress of Grayskull resembles ancient priestess goddesses who guarded forbidden wisdom. Inanna, Hecate, Ishtar, Sekhmet. These goddesses were not nurturing, they were gatekeepers. They understood that knowledge and power, once revealed, could not be taken back. In many myths, the guardian does not prevent evil. They ration disaster. Grayskull's power is not meant to be used. It is meant to be endured. Ancient myth does not ask who is strong enough to rule. It asks who can survive being powerful. He-Man is the modern echo of a terrifying ancient belief that ultimate power does not elevate mankind. It erases it. The hero is not rewarded. He is consumed. When ancient people told these stories, they were not dreaming of heroes, they were explaining trauma, wars, kings, conquest. The terror of watching men become gods, and gods become monsters. He-Man survives because the myth beneath him is eternal. The fear that somewhere, locked behind ritual and steel, there exists a power too great for flesh, that one day, someone will raise the sword again. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Check out our brand new online merch store with affordable options of shirts with men's and women's sizes, also hats, totes, coffee cups, with cheeky designs suitable for any gift, for any occasion. Cheerio.